Portland, Oregon, a city with a passionate fan base, a proven hockey market for the Winterhawks, and a growing sports culture. But here's the question, could Portland actually support an NHL team? In this video, we're going to break it down. From the arena situation to fan interest to rivalries, and even how the league might look with a team in the Rose City. So let's dive into how an NHL team in Portland would really work. Let's start with the most important question for any potential NHL city: where would they play? Right now, Portland has a Moda Center, home of the Trailblazers. The Winterhawks used to play there up until 2021 due to financial reasons, so the arena is basically no stranger to hockey. The good news, it's NHL ready in terms of capacity with over 18,000 seats for hockey. The not so good news, the arena was built in the mid-90s, so while it's serviceable, it's not exactly state-of-the-art compared to newer NHL venues. Now, would the NHL be okay with the Moda Center as is, or would Portland need to build a brand new arena to seal the deal? That's one of the biggest hurdles we'll need to break down if the NHL ever seriously considers Portland. Now let's talk about the fans, and trust me, as a Seattle Thunderbirds fan, it pains me to admit this. The Portland Winterhawks, our biggest rival, have been around since the 70s, and as much as I can't stand them, I have to give credit where it's due. They have built one of the most successful junior hockey programs in the WHL, and their fan base is proof that hockey can absolutely work in Portland. Beyond that, Portland has already shown it knows how to support its teams. The Trailblazers have diehard fans, and the Timbers Army, they are one of the most passionate soccer fan bases in the country. So even though I'll always root against Portland on the junior side, it's hard to deny that the city has a sports culture to rally behind an NHL team. And if we're being honest, that's where it gets exciting, because if you throw Portland in the NHL, suddenly you've got a natural rivalry with Seattle, Vancouver, and even San Jose. As much as I'd love to see Portland lose every night, those matchups would sell tickets, fill arenas, and create one of the best rivalry triangles of the West Coast. Seattle versus Portland already runs deep in the WHL, and anyone who's been to a T-Birds and Winterhawks game knows the energy is unmatched. Now imagine that passion, but on the NHL stage. Climate Pledge Arena packed with Kraken fans, Moda Center packed with Portland fans, and both sides absolutely despising each other. That's box office hockey right there. Then you add Vancouver to the mix, and suddenly you've got a Pacific Northwest rivalry triangle. Seattle, Portland, Vancouver, all within driving distance. San Jose fits into that rivalry rev too, since West Coast teams are always battling for bragging rights. So as much as I love watching Portland lose, I can't lie, from a rivalry standpoint, the NHL would have struggled putting a team here. So let's say the NHL actually lands in Portland. What would this team even be called? Portland has a ton of options you could run with. You could lean into the city's reputation for being a little weird and go with something offbeat. You could play up the Lumberjack history with something like the Portland Lumberjacks or Loggers, or maybe even go with the classic aggressive route with an animal name, the Wolves, Grizzlies, something that makes you think twice before stepping into their barn. But honestly, Portland's identity has always been tied to the outdoors, the mountains, the forests, the rivers. That's where my idea comes in. Picture a team that represents the natural beauty and power of the Pacific Northwest, something unique but still intimidating. And that's why the name I landed on is the Portland Cascades. Named after the Cascade Mountain range that stretches right through Oregon. It's a name that captures the region perfectly. Visually, it's got a ton of potential. Mountain peaks, flowing rivers, evergreen trees, all tied into a logo and color scheme that screams Oregon. Think forest green, icy blue, and maybe a silver accent to make it pop. Now, don't get me wrong, as a Seattle fan, I love nothing more than to see the Cascades lose every time they hit the ice. But from a branding standpoint, this is a name that works, and it's one that would give Portland an identity that fits both the city and the league. So at the end of the day, could Portland actually support an NHL team? The arena situation is doable, the fan base is there, the rivalries would be incredible, and the branding with the Cascades just feels like it fits. Now don't get me wrong, as a Seattle fan, I'd have zero problem rooting against Portland every single night. In fact, that's part of what would make it fun. A Portland NHL team would give Seattle another team to hate, and then honestly, rivalries are just what makes hockey great. So as much as I can't stand the Winterhawks, I'll admit it, an NHL team in Portland would work, and it might even make the league better. But that's just my take. What do you think? Would Portland thrive with an NHL franchise, or would it flop? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.